Monday. Good morning.
I feel like this is one of the roughest Mondays because we spring forward.
It's the
and
Monday that we lost an hour of sleep.
Yeah.
That really messes with me. Now, I will say, I'll be quick to say, love it that it stays light later.
I don't enjoy driving in the dark though. It kind
Coming
of
in,
throws me off.
That'll change pretty quickly because in the height of summer, it's like light around 5 and doesn't get dark until 8:30. But so yesterday we ran to Mom wanted to go to El Paso, so we went to El Paso, and we are coming back, and we're just like that. It's 7 o'clock. Oh my goodness, or 6 something, whatever time it was. So I like it that it's light later,
right?
But man, that 1 hour really messes.
Well, the saddest thing is,
good morning, Jenny.
When you have an automatic feeder for your cats, and it's
good morning, Jim.
Really bad, and so like the poor cats normally it would go off at 6. And it doesn't go off until closer to 7. So this morning when I was getting ready, they just were staring at their food bowl like, when is it going to come?
So just so you guys know, so one of our dogs, she's the oldest, and she has to take heart medicine. We give it to her at night. And I don't know. Good morning, Vicky. We didn't consciously decide, but like the time we ended up started giving it to him was 8:30 at night. And you guys know, certainly Jenny knows, but animals, like, they have this internal clock. And so last night, it didn't happen at 8:30 the new time, but at 9:30, and this always happens. So at 8:30, Oreo, who gets the medicine, just comes and sits and stares. And it usually takes a little bit for you to figure out, and you're like, oh, okay, what time is it? Yeah, that's it. Well, her internal clock didn't switch yet, and so at 8:30 we're all like, none of the dogs are acting like they're ready, because it was really 7:30 old time. And so but we're sitting there, Hope, Mom, and I are talking, and and I look down, and there's Oreo. She just stares, and I looked, and it was 9:30 on the dot, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's time.
I guess it's the new time.
The funny thing is, we have 2 little kittens. Well, yeah, they're not a year old yet. The other ones are barely a year old.
Yeah.
But 2 little kittens, and one of them, you've heard this, like that one learned to come when the dogs come to get their cheese, because when we give it to one, we give it to all, because they don't understand, just like little kids. She eats cheese. She wants cheese. Have you heard this,
yes.
MJ?
Yes.
And so I don't know if you guys have ever done, like the vending machines where you put the dollar in and you stick it in, and it like sucks it in real fast. Oh, good morning, Bethany. And it sucks it in real fast. Well, you get this little piece of cheese, and it's this little, and she's a 3-legged kitten, because before we brought her in from outside, something got one of her legs, but she doesn't know the difference. She still scratches with it. She thinks she does. And you put it in, you get this little piece of cheese and put it up to this little kitten, and she'll cry. She wants one, so she'll cry because she wants it. And you put it in, and it's just like one of those little vending machines because you get it close to her mouth, and all of a sudden, it just sucks in. It's like a little dollar bill, I guess, because her tongue is real rough.
Yeah.
So time change, we've been talking about Bethany and Vicky. Time change messing with us a little bit this morning. Hard. I'll be glad when it's not only when it's light later still. Tonight will be fun, but when it's light earlier as well. Yeah. Because you get up at 6 and it's like pitch black outside,
and it's still cold here, so it makes you just want to go back to bed.
Yeah, and 6 is late for me. That's sleeping in for me. So when I sleep in, it's still pitch black outside. So I'm back from the cruise. Well, cruise, gosh, that was a long time ago.
You're back from sabbatical. We were just talking about cruises.
Cruise, then Myrtle Beach, and then 2 weeks by myself, kind of. I had a conference in there too. So back from that, yesterday was my first day back from sabbatical. So much fun. I'm so excited to be back. I missed my church family. I missed my other family too, although I got to see a little bit.
Yeah.
But missed my church family. I got to visit some really good churches too. I've got pastor friends around the state, but got to visit 2 of those churches, one of them twice, because that was near where I was staying at the inn. There's no place like home. Yeah. So I'm all rested and refreshed. one of my pastor friends, when he works for the state convention now, he goes, I told him that you'll be all rested and refreshed and come back with a full head of hair. So you should put on a wig when I said, I did that one year. I don't know if you remember that. The deacons got me a mullet wig long ago. So I'm excited. Kind of easing into it. Last week was I didn't get back till Monday afternoon. Mm-hmm. So this week still kind of easing into it. Spring break, so that works. No kids club or youth. That makes it easier.
Yep.
But I'm super excited. I was telling Hillary, so on my sabbatical, not only did we get to do a cruise, did I get to go to Myrtle Beach. You had to stay here and hold the fort down. Thank you guys for doing that, by the way. She and Hope did so much while I was gone. And then 2 weeks at a lodge by myself. It's a really nice, so it's an in-law camp, and they have the in-law lodge that they've totally remodeled. It's like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath log cabin, so it's really big. But they totally remodeled it. Somebody did. New everything, new appliances, really cool new Murphy beds. And they let pastors and their families stay there for free. So, and this was the off season, so I got to be there for like 2 weeks. So that was really fun. But during all that 6 weeks, 8 novels. Mm-hmm. I read 8 novels and 5 church leadership kind of books, which is way cool. So 13 books in 6 weeks. And I say read. I'll admit I cheated. Most of those were Audible because, gosh, we had like a lot of driving time. We drove to Galveston, drove back, lots of time on the ship that we could just kind of go and chill. Yeah. And then we flew to Myrtle Beach. So lots of flying time with that. And then 4 hours to the camp that I was at. And so anyways, really good, rested and refreshed, and just trying to get my feet under me now here and then jump back into it. And so the little series, the timing of the sabbatical is really good because this is a slow time of year. February is a good month to be gone. Mm-hmm. We got to spend, you know this, but so we got to spend Cynthia's mom's birthday is on Valentine's. Yeah. So we almost never get to spend, her birthday, be with her, and so we got to do that this year. That was fun. Mm-hmm. Grandpa and I watched the Super Bowl. Yeah. We had our own Super Bowl party. That was fun. Yeah. Yeah, he was rooting for the Chiefs. I was rooting for San Francisco. I like both teams, although this is a big rabbit. I do not like I forget his name now. Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Oh yeah, Kelsey. What he did to that coach. Did you hear about that? Mm-hmm. Unspeakable. I don't know how. I guess the coach either has way more patience,
or he dealt with it behind closed doors.
I don't know. I would have been tempted to say Super Bowl and no Super Bowl. You're sitting out the rest of the game. Yeah. Of course, the owner might have had something to say about that.
Maybe.
But, to me, that really shows a person's character on
national television,
worldwide television. Something that will be replayed forever.
Yeah.
That was.
They made a lot of memes.
And what he should have done was come out after the Super Bowl and say, hey, I apologize to the coach. That was totally uncalled for, but I feel like I need to apologize to the fans too. But I've never heard any of that.
No.
It's like he got mad because he wasn't in for one play. Almost knocked the coach down. Anyways, like both teams. I like the Chiefs and the 49ers, and so it really didn't matter to me which one. It was a good game. Mm-hmm. And you guys have probably rehashed all this. This is only my second time back since the Super Bowl. But that poor kicker for San Francisco, I don't know if you paid attention to all this. In pro football, there shouldn't be any such thing as not getting the extra point. Mm-hmm. But the Chiefs blocked one of the extra points. Mm. That if they hadn't, if the 49ers had gotten that extra point, the game would have been over at the end. It wouldn't have gone into overtime, and the 49ers would have won.
Mm.
Wow. And I know you can say a bunch of other things, but I think that was the thing that cost them the game. Unfortunately. Anyhow, so back, what we're going to do, the timing of the
sermon
sabbatical, forgot what that thing was called, 6 week gone. Timing of the sabbatical was good to be gone from the church. If you're going to be gone for 6 weeks, end of January, February is a good time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the series that I want to do, we're going to have to do like just a couple, and then we Easter's here, so
yeah.
So then we'll have Easter, and then I'll finish up that one, and we'll get going. But we talked about that. So what we're doing is reimagining church in Cloudcroft has changed. Oh my goodness, y'all heard me talk about this before I left, but
yeah,
big time. And I'm just reminded all the time. So it was so funny. Yesterday, kind of talked about that a little bit as we headed into the message. Oh, good morning, Julie. Ooh, recovering from getting your knee back in shape, huh? But I talked about that, how there are people who live here that I haven't met yet, and that is so uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
We're here until COVID. And you know what? Yesterday in church, there were two new couples, and one of them has been here for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
And one of them moved here like in June or July of this last year.
Oh, wow.
And I said, you guys are the ones I was talking about. And one of them I had actually run into. I said, you guys look so familiar. Have you ever been here before? And they said, no. But we've seen you at the coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
So met them at Black Bear. But it's changed so much. So we're gonna really dive into that. But I thought it'd be really good before we do that, before you take a trip, you have to start where you are. No matter where you're going, right. You have to start where you are. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend some time. My first several weeks back. Oh, I'm glad you got to see. Good to see you. I got to see Jose while I was on my sabbatical. Did you know that?
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that they did. They tuned into the Tuesday men's Bible study.
Mm-hmm. Not just that. I didn't tune in. I got to see Jose in Albuquerque.
Oh.
Yeah.
At the conference?
Yep. He was on a street corner with, no, I'm kidding. He was at the evangelism conference. Yeah. I got to see Jose there with Trail Life, which is, I would say the Christian version of Boy Scouts. But it's so much better than that. So Jose, we'll explore to see how maybe we can be involved with Trail Life. I like that. I'm hesitant to volunteer myself, Jose, because I volunteered one time to help a guy with Pioneer Club.
Oh, yeah. 5th
and 6th grade boys and girls. And within 3 weeks, I was doing it all by myself. So that was in Fort Worth. Anyways, before we jump into the reimagine thing, so who's here? Mm-hmm. What are they like? And what is it going to take to reach them? To spend some time really talking about who we are. We have to start with us. So
yeah.
So we're going to start with that this next week. Who we are, that's our vision, what we value, which is something that we've never really hit on too much. But I think it's important that we get that, we understand that, because that's kind of like priorities. Mm-hmm. If you have priorities, things that you think are important, but you're not doing things according to those priorities, then they're kind of not really priorities. So what are the things that we value, so we can make sure we're integrating those into the life of our church? And then what's our mission? What do we do, and then mm-hmm. how do we do it? So we'll be talking about that over the next month or so, with Easter in there. Yep. Easter is at the end of the month.
Yeah,
so I know that. Mm-hmm. We have 5 Sundays in March, and Easter is the 31st.
Yep. Crazy.
I know that it is crazy.
So crazy.
Yeah. So I got back, and the first thing I did when I got back, the first day back in the church that I did was hang up our Easter banner, because
it's coming.
Which is cool. it came in on Monday. Our Easter banner came in on Monday, and Tuesday I hung it up. So Easter's coming, but again, and we're dealing with all these things. Clacroft has changed so much. Things that we've done for the last 20 years, well, 19 years, a lot of them started changing last year. Mm-hmm. So the way that the village does the whatever you call it, Harvest Festival or Fall Festival
has changed.
It changed last year. Yeah. Like that. All of a sudden, the way we'd done it for the 19 years before we did it differently. Yeah. And so Easter, we usually partner with the Chamber of Commerce, and they were doing Easter egg hunts when we came. Yeah. In fact, hers and Hope's Easter egg hunt here, they put the eggs out, and then it snowed like 3 inches, so they had to go kicking the snow around to find the eggs. Yeah. Hope's was 2.5, a little bit more.
That was when we wore like sandals and stuff.
Yeah, you guys probably had. I think you had sandals on and cute little Easter dresses. We were new here. We were still learning. Yeah. But it's changed so much that we really need to kind of reconnect with our church, our community. Church needs to reconnect with the community, which sounds so weird because forever, like we knew everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. So to have to do the things that we're going to have to do this year to get to know our community is odd for such a small little town, but it's not as small as it used to be.
No, it's really big. I think it was changing before, like years ago, but I think to me, like the symbolic, like change was the new all subs. Like when they got that in, and it's bigger and it's so much better, but it just kind of like symbolizes like the change of Cloudcroft because it's the all subs has grown and so is Cloudcroft as well.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that was kind of the crowning thing.
Right. 16 pumps.
So yeah, Bethany, huge. Boy, you're going to be in for a surprise when you come back through. And then it's All Subs Realty Company, and then the Bigfoot Museum. Yeah. Which is and I didn't quite understand, what all that was about. But the owners, because Hope and I, in March on Fridays, it's 2 for 1 ice cream. Mm-hmm. So Hope and I went and got ice cream Friday while it was snowing. Yeah. The owners are serious. Like she showed me a photo that someone took of Bigfoot in the Mescalero reservation. Yeah. So they're legit. They have a museum. You can walk in and it's a gift shop and an arcade kind of there where you can shoot little guns and stuff like that.
Reminds me of Cabela's.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So we haven't done the museum yet. I'm thinking. Hope and I were talking about this. We're thinking about waiting until Michael and Christina come.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun.
So Christina, if you're listening, when you come,
get ready.
We want to take you guys to the Bigfoot Museum and go through the museum part. Yeah. Which is really the biggest thing there.
But I've heard it's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that'd be fun.
So I want to hear Makai's take on it afterwards. Yeah, because he's so fun.
I love Makai's stories.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Savannah's graduating. Mm-hmm. So cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's like in the middle, 16th or something like that, or 17th is graduation. So that's cool. That's not Mother's Day weekend, is it? No, the Mother's Day weekend's the weekend before. Yeah. Because there's Mother's Day weekends like the 10th. So cool. Well, that'll be fun. Oh, I will. 130 Baptist churches in the Las Cruces area. Wow. Oh, good. Well, that'll be fun for everybody to go through. Sam's here this week, is what you're saying. Oh, wow. Yeah, spring break here. Y'all have. I guess y'all
spring
have...
break in Texas, and then some other places too.
Not in Alamogordo.
No. No. But
yeah, Alamogordo didn't have spring break this week. But yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be fun to take Makai through it and get his take. When they were here one time, we went to the Roswell to the
it's the Alien Museum.
Is that I can't remember if it was called that to the Alien Museum Research Center, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Mackay had some really. He was a lot younger than him, but he had some really interesting takes on some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Well, I'm so glad to be back. Wednesday is going to be you and Jim, and Friday I think Paul's back in town. Well, I know he was yesterday, but I think he'll be here Friday. So we're gonna. I think the way we're gonna do this normally is on Monday. It's gonna be Hope and Hillary. Hope had a headache, so she didn't come.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday's me and Jim.
Yeah,
and me
I
and
was
Paul.
like.
And you guys are the subs.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was like,
it's you and Hope on Mondays.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was
you and Hope on Mondays.
I made a mental note to talk to you after job.
Me and Jim on Wednesday, and then me and Paul.
Yeah,
on Friday.
I was like, hold on.
So I'm still. No one's asked yet, but I had determined when I came back I wasn't gonna do any appointments the first couple of weeks because I have to try to remember what it is I do here after 6 weeks gone.
And the week of spring break, like the church office is still open, but it's nice for like us, like staff, to kind of take a little bit of like a break in a way.
Yeah, so no Tuesday morning Bible study tomorrow. No. We still have men as ladies doing Bible study, so men and women's Bible study Tuesday night. No youth kids club Wednesday.
Nope.
So it's a kind of a chill week. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, let me pray for you guys. I am so excited about what we're gonna get into this year, and so y'all be hearing some more about that as we go. And everyone's asking, what are you doing today? I don't know. I have to figure out what I'm doing.
You gotta sit down and make a list.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out. I gotta go sit down and think. Well, let me pray for you guys. Lord, thank you. Thank you for church family. Lord, I've missed being here with this family and connecting. I pray that God, as we go into this year, Lord, that you would just lead us and guide us. God, help us to connect in our community or with our community in a whole new way. Lord, I pray that you give us an excitement for the people that you brought here, Lord, and for reaching out to them and getting to know them and inviting them to join us this journey of faith with Jesus. And God, I pray, Lord, that you would move and work in ways that bring you honor and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Good to see you guys. Thanks for hopping on with us. Oh, that's funny. So how does he even know I meet with Shelby? Yeah. So I'll be having a breakfast with Shelby on Wednesday. Even though we set that up, and then there's a spring break. Yeah. So he's usually we do that after he drops kids off to school. And so I messaged him and said, "Are you sure we're still doing it?" He goes, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Okay, well, we'll see if he can do that with his kids not in school." So anyhow, love you guys. We will see you. I will see you on Wednesday with Jim. You guys have a great week.